Hi, this is Rob Ansbach, and I'm here with Paul Douglas, the industry giant, way up in Winnipeg, and I'm down in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And this is part of our Optimize This um video. Now, in this episode, we're going to talk about deconstructing SEO. And so I'm going to start off, and we're going to share a little bit about meta tags. And meta tags are those pieces of code in a typical website that are either meta title, meta description, and meta keywords. And these are the coding that Google and the search engines look for to rank your site. So the meta title has to pretty much sum up what is on that page in I'd say 6 words or less. Could be a little longer, but typically it's about 6 words. The meta description is about 160 characters, uh, about a paragraph long. That gives a description of what is on that page. Now the meta keywords, um, for a better lack of they're not really used much, and most search engines, except for Google, will still monitor them, but Google, they really don't look at the meta keywords anymore because what happened is people used to stuff the keywords so badly to try to trick the system that Google said, you know what, we're not doing that anymore. And I still see meta keywords that have hundreds of keywords stuffed in there. And honestly, if you're going to use them, use about 15 of them, and that's about it. You want to talk about H1 and H2 tags, Paul?
Sure. The other before I do, let me just touch on a couple things. One of the things that I tell people is you've got 54 characters to use in a title.
Mhm.
So, you can spread out that title um, using various keyword phrases. Um, as we touched on before, nobody cares what your name is, so you might as well use a
No.
keyword in there. I found that the keyword in the title is definitely far more powerful than having your name as far as getting ranked. And with the description, same thing, 155 characters, 160 max. And if you can put a call to action and a phone number in there, as we discussed earlier,
Mhm.
it'll turn your search engine listing into a yellow page listing. And you can actually end search for somebody real quick. And instead of having someone go back and forth to various websites, they can give your business a call and it's done its job.
Right.
As far as the H1 and H and or the title tags that's in a website, you've got 6 different tags that range from H1 to H6. Each one, as you go higher in number, becomes lower importance, but still is a title tag that's used to break up your site. You have your main title, you'll have your subheads, you'll have your key points. Now, the mistake I see a lot of people make because anything put inside these tags typically tends to be bigger in font size, bolder, maybe italicized depending on how you set that up. And instead of using um, proper HTML code to increase the font size of a phrase or to bold it out or to italicize it, people will put these phrases inside these tags in the wrong part. I mean, you should have just one H1 tag on your page. You should have maybe 2 or 3 H2 tags on your page. Okay, and I wouldn't use more than 2 or 3 of each tag on your page. So if you need to make something bigger or bolder or a different font, instead of using the H tags, the title tags, uh, make the changes in either your cascading style sheets or do some on-page styling up in the head part of your page,
Mhm.
or even some inline styling just to make a change to that particular phrase or font section. You do that, you're going to be using a proper HTML code, and actually using accurate code is very important to ranking your page. If you overdo the title tags, you're actually going to hurt yourself rather than help yourself.
Right.
Okay. Um, Now, Rob, you do an awful lot of rewriting of content because I know we talked about keywords-based titles and descriptions.
Hmm.
Um, what is it you do with the content for your customers when you want to increase their rankings?
Well, a lot of times I write the content for the end user. I don't write the content for the search engines, and that's over the last few years, Google has shifted anyway. Um, they're they're leaning more towards natural content, how we express ourselves, how we uh, write naturally, how we speak. It used to be that we could write content and every other word could be a specialized keyword, and I still see it. I still see lots of content, lots of keywords stuffed into a page that doesn't need to be there. And let's say we're going back to our uh, days of carpet cleaning. I might see carpet cleaning, stuffed 15 times into a page, and it's redundant. You don't need to use carpet cleaning that many times. Just express yourself naturally. Write it as you're writing a letter to a consumer, and that's going to be accepted a lot faster than pumping keywords into a web page that doesn't need to be done.
You know, I think that's probably one of the advantages or benefits that you and I have enjoyed with our background in direct response marketing,
Hmm.
and that, our training prior to going on the web was to create high quality content, long form sales letters, benefit driven content. You know, we were trained to write content to create a sale with the customer.
Hmm.
And I know for myself, that's how I've always written content on websites because I wanted the website to do one thing, and that is to create a sale or to generate a phone call or to have a
Right.
lead or a form filled out for a lead for the website. My goal wasn't to have a pretty billboard or a brochure because neither one sells product or services, but a high quality sales letter will sell products and services. So I always used the web page as just another form of media to pass out the message and always
Right.
wrote for the end user. So even back in 2003, when I had my first website for my carpet cleaning business, right up to the sites I'm building today, because I am writing for the end user, I've always been rewarded with higher ranks than other websites that just want to give a little short description and just leave it at that. Uh, how many words do you want to usually have on each page, Rob?
Well, it depends. And I try to do at least 300. And I know that that sounds like a lot, but I've seen web pages that still have 1,000 word content on them. Well, you know, for simplicity, even my own site has less than 300 words on it. You know, my main page might only have 150 words on it. If all you have to say is 150 words, then that's all it's going to be. If you have, if you have a lot of, uh, let's say for carpet cleaning, if you have a lot of explanation that you want to put forth, then go ahead and write your 1,000 page, 1,000 word thesis and tell people, everything that there is to know about carpet cleaning. But honestly, it's overkill. You don't need to do it. Simplicity is always the key, and the more simple you do, the uh, the more that the customer is going to want to know more and pick up the phone and call you. I think there is a point that you can oversell content on a website, and I think that if you can just keep it simple, more people are going to be attracted to what you have to offer.
Absolutely. I think the best thing I can suggest is, I wouldn't worry about so much as the word count on your page as I provide enough information for someone to make an intelligent buying decision.
Right.
So
You know that
bottom
the
line is,
whole. Go ahead.
but gee, I feel like those two ground squirrels on Bugs Bunny there. No, after you. No, after you. Uh,
But
Anyone
the
who
whole.
gets these live tapes are going to wonder, what the hell are they talking about? It's just, yeah, the movie Up. Squirrel. Anyway, um,
The whole thing is to build trust. And if you have content on there that is not building trust, then you're losing a sale. And
absolutely. I mean, bottom line is, who is buying your product and service? The search spiders or the visitor that's coming there to look for solutions to their problems? Okay, so customer, spiders aren't customers, you know, but actual live human searchers can be customers if you can create the credibility, create the trust, create the desire on their part, and ask them to take action. And
right,
if you can do that on your web page, hey, bottom line is you're going to make more sales no matter where you're ranked. But at the same time, that is the type of quality that Google is looking to put forth on their search engines, and you'll be rewarded for writing for the end user.
right,
Now, one of the things that I see all the time, and I'm sure you do, and again, talking about the content on the page, is that when we look at a picture, we'll have the image source as far as the HTML code, and it'll be somewhere in an image file or content file, and you'll have the image number uh, or the image, and then say, if it comes off a camera like mine, I'll have image 7432.jpg.
hmm
Okay. Now, how powerful would that be as a search keyword?
it won't ever.
So, what should someone do when they put an image up on the page?
Rename it to what that picture describes. So if it's a picture of a carpet cleaner, then the picture should say carpet cleaner in whatever town that you represent. Um, it's going to have more powerful ranking on Google than if it just has the image that you just described, the long number followed by JPJ or whatever it's called, JPEG.
Yep. So, should you do that with every picture on your site?
I would
No. And would you use the same keyword or should you mix it up?
mix it up.
Okay. So, just to review then, with the images on your site, don't just have the image name that you upload to your server. Change it up, change the name, even change the description, and you can even put a caption on the bottom of that image as well. And again, you can have different keywords for the name, for the description, and even for the caption. And that one image could get you ranked for all three different keywords.
Right.
Okay.
And I know that we had mentioned in a prior video, any picture that you put on your website, make sure that it's original picture. Make sure you watermark it, whether it be with your logo, whether it be with, just a small, uh, you know, uh, saying. Maybe it's a web link, maybe it's a name of your company. Watermark it because those images are searchable. And if you're using a stock photo, um, when someone goes to look for that, excuse me, that photo, um, they're going to find all the other people that are using that stock photo. So if you use original photos that you take, when someone goes to search that photo, they're only going to find you.
Yep. And here's a little ninja trick I like to share with images. Um, when you actually have your raw image sitting in your hard drive on your computer, you can actually go to each image and right click on it and select properties, and you can fill out a whole number of things about the properties of that particular image. Not just the size and the date taken and the location taken, although the geotags are nice. Oh, there's something we can edit out.
Hmm.
But what's really cool is you can also put a link to your website, or better yet, the web page you're going to put that image
Hmm.
onto that image files or image properties. So now that image is a link to your website. So, you talk about watermarking to prevent theft, but if it gets stolen, well, at least someone's going to link their site to your site because of the properties on that image. It's
Hmm.
one way to get even with the thieves. Anyways, that's a bit of a ninja trick of mine. Um, if you're using a lot of images, it can be a bit time consuming. So if
Right.
you're, if you're a freelancer like ourselves, make sure you explain to the your client how important that is, and charge accordingly for the time, because it takes time to go in and adjust the properties on each image that you use. Of course,
Right.
the downside. Here's the reason I found out about this is when I was taking images from other sites for one of my clients, I would go in there and strip out all their information on the properties and claim it as theirs. But that's probably something we should edit out later.
Yeah.
Anyway, I fired that client for other reasons. Um, so, what's one of the ways you like to keep people on the site instead of going back and forth from, say whatever page they land on back to Google?
Uh, I don't know if there's anything that I like to do because people are so fickle.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna edit that too. Okay, so one of the things I like to do is when I'm finished literally the content on a page, I like to link that page to other sites, pages in the site,
Hmm.
either to pull them in deeper to the site or move them into other areas. So you see Amazon doing this all the time, and it's part of the upsell, but it's also part of keeping people there. Where you're looking at a book and they'll say, or shopping for an item on their store, and they'll give you a suggestion afterwards. People that bought this also got this, this, and that. They'll
Hmm.
give you a bundle price, but at the same time, they'll give you links to these other products or other books that they're suggesting. So it gives you two benefits. One, I mean, we'll go again, pick on our industry that we've been with. We're carpet cleaners. And, when we finish talking to somebody about cleaning the carpets, well, why not link them to the page where we talk about cleaning the upholstery? Because furniture gets dirty too.
Right.
And while we're at it, why not talk to them about getting the hard floors, their tile and grout cleaned while we're in the home? Because, hey, tile and grout gets messy too. So, one of the things I like to do is I like to link the page that I'm working on to related pages in the site, whether it be on the same level or value uh, in the hierarchy of the site, or even lower pages in the site. So case in point, I have a client that's, that is a puppy matchmaker. She has, designer breed dogs that she uh, is a broker for. So she helps breeders and uh, you know, forever homes find the puppies they have, and so we can link that page. Let's say for example, let's say the Maltipoo puppy, which is a cross between the Maltese and the Poodle. Um, we'll link that page to the pages that's currently has her current litter of puppies that she has available for adoption. But at the same time, I'll link that page to the Poodle page and to the Yorkie Poo page and have them linking down. And then when I get to the bottom of that, so Typically when you have a website, you're going to have a hierarchy of pages. You'll have your home page up at the top. You'll have your main pages that you see on the menu on the second level, and then you'll have your sub pages below that. So I'd like to link the home page to the second levels. I like to link the second levels to one another, but also to um, the content pages at the bottom, for lack of better words. But then I also like to link those pages at the bottom of the hierarchy back up to the home page. So you have what's basically an interior link circle or link loop, starting from the home page to the second level hierarchy page to the third level. If there's fourth, the third level to the fourth, and then the bottom level back up to home. You keep a closed loop. Each page will then build up the link juice for one another. And then as you build that, pass the link juice down from the home page to the bottom, you then pass it back up to the top. I know we've talked in a previous video the value of uh, maintaining the link juice inside your website. And we talked about how linking to your website is a lot like a bucket. If your website is a bucket, and you fill it up with water, or in this case, link juice, um, if you have the least amount of links, or if you have more links coming in than you have links going out, you'll fill up that bucket even with that leakage. So you want to minimize the amount of links going out of your site and passing the value that you have built up into your site out to other websites. But at the same time, you want to maintain and contain that. So you have that same hole, but if you put a hose at the bottom of that hole and put it back up to the top, then you're just keeping everything in place. It's probably a really weird description that I've put out, and I'm sure I confused everybody. But the bottom line is you want to maintain as much control over the links in your website as you can, either linking to other pages in your site to maintain that link value that you've built up,
Right.
and minimize the amount of links going out um, to, again, minimize the amount going out. And what I found is that if you link out to high quality links, that also tends to help you out. If you have a similar subject, for example, that you're talking about that you can find on Wikipedia, and you put a link out to that, that'll actually help you out. More so than if you were to say link to another website, say a competitor's website or somebody in a different city. That's not as beneficial. If you link to a video that you did about that particular subject, that will be more beneficial to you than if you were to link it out to you know a video of playful kittens, unless that's what your web page is talking about. So jealously guard the linking inside your site. By all means, interlink your pages because that's going to help build up value, minimize the amount of outbound links that you have, but do have some because that is a natural thing that search engines see. But make sure you link to high quality sites. It's probably more important to link to high end, high quality sites than it is to have high quality links coming in. Rob, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, one of the things as I was, listening to you and also reviewing some of my notes is that, link building uh, usually only works on higher quality websites. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the template sites, a lot of the cut and paste sites, it's really hard to link them back into each other to form that link circle. And it's just the way that these template sites are coded, the way they're designed. They don't give you the full SEO effect that you need to have to rank. Some of them you can't change the dynamics of the pictures. You cannot change the description of the pictures. You're limited to basic SEO, which would be the meta title, meta description, and it's not the optimal thing. But you really have to look out for what you're getting. If you're going to say, well, I'm only going to spend $300 for a website, you're limited to what you can and can't rank for.
Absolutely. And based on what you just said, that's probably the reason why we both love WordPress so much, because unlike other CMSs that are out there, WordPress has so many great tools that will help you do exactly what we talked about. You know, one of our favorites, and this is something we both agree on, is the all-in-one SEO plugin that allows you to set up your keyword-based title tags, your meta tags for your description, and as well as your keyword tags. And then there's another one that I really like that's plugged in for SEO, and that is the related post plugin,
Right.
because that will actually automatically, based on your keywords, will go out, you know, on the blog post you have, and will interlink that automatically for you. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons why, you know, WordPress makes up so many. I think about 68% of all new websites right now are WordPress based, and I think of all the millions or billions of sites that are out there, WordPress makes up about 24% because it does give you a lot of advantages in developing a highly optimized website over a lot of the other tools or templates that are out there.
Right.
So, our next video, we're going to be talking about how to optimize YouTube. And you might be wondering, why do you want to optimize YouTube? We're talking about your website. So, we'll explain to you why you want to optimize YouTube in the next video.